We're here to idea you, to fire up your curiosity and connect you with the people and ideas that shape our world. Watch, listen, understand, connect, and create. Let's move the human story forward together.
Hello and welcome to The Poetry of Science, a podcast which provides insight into new scientific research via the medium of poetry. I'm your host, Dr. Sam Illingworth, and each week I'll be introducing you to some of the latest scientific findings and sharing a selection of science-themed poetry. After all, we could all do with a little bit more poetry in our lives. In this episode, I'll be exploring new research, which has suggested that it's time to declare a new epoch on the moon, the Lunar Anthropocene. Beneath the sun's restless stare we sprung, curious, boundless, ravenous. Our tracks a tangled web across the fractured lines of this, our living canvas. Tools of flint and sparks of thought etched our story in stone and clay and bark. In the furrows of farmed fields, in the skeletons of skyscrapers, in the choked breath of muddied streams, unsated our gaze turned skyward, to a pearl cast adrift amongst the ocean of stars. Rocket-fueled ambitions propelled us past our pale blue dot. On the chalky sphere untouched footprints narrate our tale amongst the ghostly echoes of a flag, unfurling. The moon a mirror, reflecting our thirst for worlds beyond our own. This poem is inspired by recent research published in the journal Nature Geoscience, which has found that humans, having made a significant impact on Earth, now mark the moon, potentially starting a new era, the Lunar Anthropocene. Humans have always been explorers venturing into new and challenging environments. From our early beginnings in Africa, we've spread across the entire planet, adapting to all sorts of climates and terrains. Our ability to thrive in diverse conditions is a unique aspect of being human. Throughout our history, we've left traces of our presence wherever we go, from ancient tools and artwork to changes in the environment. This impact is so significant that some scientists believe we've started a new geological era, known as the Anthropocene, defined by human influence on Earth. The exploration of space, particularly the moon, is the latest chapter in the story of human expansion. The race to the moon in the mid-20th century marked the beginning of our journey beyond Earth. Just like on Earth, we've left our mark on the moon. These are now footprints, equipments from lunar missions, and even craters caused by spacecraft. These traces are not just historical artifacts, they represent a significant human impact on an entirely new environment. As space travel becomes more common, with private companies planning tourism and mining operations on the moon, it's time to consider if we've started a new era on the moon, a lunar Anthropocene. This concept suggests that just as we've deeply affected the Earth, our influence is now extending to other celestial bodies. Now that you've heard the science, let me read the poem to you again. Beneath the sun's restless stare we sprung, curious, boundless, ravenous. Our tracks a tangled web across the fractured lines of this, our living canvas. Tools of flint and sparks of thought etched our story in stone and clay and bark. In the furrows of farmed fields, in the skeletons of skyscrapers, in the choked breath of muddied streams. Unsated, our gaze turned skyward, to a pearl cast adrift amongst the ocean of stars. Rocket-fueled ambitions propelled us past our pale blue dot. On the chalky sphere, untouched footprints narrate our tale amongst the ghostly echoes of a flag, unfurling. The moon, a mirror, reflecting our thirst for worlds beyond our own. In this section of the podcast, I'd like to share a poem written by another poet on a topic related to the science that has been discussed so far. In this episode, I'll be reading Moon by Amy Sklansky. Amy E. Skalansky, born in 1971 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, is an accomplished poet and author known for her children's books. After earning her BA from the University of Virginia, Skalansky went on to write several beloved titles, including From the Doghouse, Poems to Chew On, published in 2002, and My Daddy and Me, published in 2010. Her work has earned nominations for awards such as the Beehive Book Award and the Washington Children's Choice Picture Book Award. Besides her writing career, Skalansky has also contributed to the literary world as a children's book editor. Moon by Amy E. Skalansky. Marvellous, Opaque, Orb, Nightlight for the World. Thank you for listening to the Poetry of Science.
Thank you very much for being with us for this episode of the Idea Me Show. Idea Me is a global platform. Our mission is to move the human story forward by sharing knowledge of the future. You can find us on all major audio networks at www.radioideame.com, on YouTube and Vimeo. Please subscribe.